happened after these things that God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham, and he replied, here I am. And he said, please take your son, your only one, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the land of Moriah. Bring him there as an offering upon one of the mountains, which I shall tell you. So Abraham woke up early in the morning, and he saddled his donkey. He took his 2 young men with him and Isaac his son. He split the wood for the offering and stood up and went to the place which God had spoken to him. On the 3rd day, Abraham raised his eyes and perceived the place from afar. And Abraham said to his young men, stay here by yourselves with the donkey, while I and the lad will go yonder. We will worship and we will return to you. And Abraham took the wood for the offering and placed it on Isaac his son. He took in his hand the fire and knife, and the 2 of them went together. Then Isaac spoke to Abraham his father and said, Father, and he said, here I am, my son. And he said, here are the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the offering? And Abraham said, God will seek out for himself the lamb for the offering, my son. And the 2 of them went together. They arrived at the place of which God had spoken to him. Abraham built the altar there and arranged the wood. He bound Isaac his son, and he placed him on the altar atop of the wood. Abraham stretched out his hand and took the knife to slaughter his son.
And an angel of Hashem called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham.
And he said, here I am. And he said, do not stretch out your hand against the lad, nor do anything to him. For now I know that you are a God-fearing man, since you have not withheld your son, your only one, from me. And Abraham raised his eyes and saw, behold, a ram, afterwards caught in the thicket by its horn. So Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as an offering instead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that site Hashem Yireh, as it is said this day, on the mountain Hashem will be seen.
The angel of Hashem called to Abraham a second time from heaven, and he said, by myself I swear the word of Hashem, that because you have done this thing, and have not withheld your son, your only son, that I shall surely bless you and greatly increase your offspring.
Like the stars of the heavens, and like the sand on the seashore. And your offspring shall inherit the gate of its enemy, and all the nations of the earth shall bless themselves by your offspring. Because you have listened to my voice. Abraham returned to his young men, and they stood up and went together to Beersheba. And Abraham stayed at Beersheba. It came to pass after these things that Abraham was told, saying, behold, Milcah too was born children to Nahor your brother, Uz his firstborn, Buz his brother, Kemuel the father of Aram, and Chesed, Hazo, Pildash, Jidlaph, and Bethuel. And Bethuel begot Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore Nahor, Abraham's brother, and his concubines, whose name was Reemah, also bore children, Tebah, Gaham, Tahash, and Maachah.